Is your Milwaukee Tool headquarters. Stop at Hiller's now and get $100 off your next Milwaukee Tool purchase. No trade-ins needed, and Hiller's will not be undersold. Hiller's True Value on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. Our game of the week is Colby at Neillsville. Here's Neillsville Warrior head coach Scott Bryant.
So last time we saw you at the end of the Fall Creek game, what's practice been like since then?
Had a pretty good week of practice. You know, we've been trying to run some scout stuff that Colby runs, trying to get a decent look, and you know, sometimes it's kind of hard to have a sub-varsity team try to run another team's plays. It gets kind of be difficult, but the kids kind of, you know, took on the task. We did the best that we could. They practiced hard. We've been trying to keep them healthy, keep them off each other's legs, and going from there.
Yeah. All right. What do you know about Colby coming up now?
Good tradition. I mean, I think they've been in the playoffs for probably the last decade straight. Very well coached, technique-wise. You know, I went and watched them against Cadet. Got some kids with some decent speed, and they can, you know, get into the open and break it if possible.
When we saw you at Fall Creek post-game, you talked a little bit about depth of the team, players coming out. Aside from that, what's maybe one thing that'll lead to a win tonight?
Aside from the depth, you know, we're just going to have to execute. I mean, we can't make little mistakes. We can't jump. We can't, you know, jump off sides. We can't make a missed blocking assignment. We had a couple missed tackles that led to long runs with Fall Creek. And it was just little things. Otherwise, I think a game at Fall Creek would have been, you know, even closer. We got to clean that up.
So we're visiting with Neillsville Warrior Lucas Mayer. Lucas, a long time now since Fall Creek. Thoughts against Colby?
We just got to come in and play our game. I mean, they're not as strong as they were last year, and we've improved since last year. So we just got to come in and play as a team, play hard, and everyone do their responsibilities, and I think it'll be a good game. We should be able to take them.
What did you learn since last week at Fall Creek?
We just gotta, I mean, there's a couple big plays at Fall Creek that beat us, but we just gotta play as a team and everyone know their responsibilities and make the good tackles and block what we're supposed to. And I think
Neillsville Warrior quarterback Braden Trunkold. Braden, just talk about what you know about Colby right now.
They got a couple. They got size in the backfield. We're gonna stop. They got a couple running backs. They got two middle linebackers. That's what we're really keen on. And if we can get them in the running back.
After the game at Fall Creek, you've had a few days now to think about that. What did you and the team learn in this last week of practice?
Now we can stick with teams now in our conference. Every game is a winnable game now.
Welcome to the Hiller's True Value pregame show. Hiller's is your Milwaukee Tool headquarters. Stop at Hiller's now and get $100 off your next Milwaukee Tool purchase. No trade-ins needed, and Hiller's will not be undersold. Hiller's True Value on South Central Avenue in Marshfield. Our game of the week is Colby at Neillsville. Go to ZaleskiSportsShow.com now to see our other games and to go at Stratford and Marshfield at Appleton West. Thank you for watching the Zaleski Sports Show.
Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, and today's Coach on the Couch is Colby Hornet head football coach, Jim Hagan. Jim, thanks for being here today. We appreciate you stopping by.
Well, thanks for inviting me. Looking forward to the interview.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a good time. This is more of just two guys kind of sitting here talking, you know, more so than an interview, but we'll talk about all kinds of things, but mostly Colby Hornet football. Okay. So with that being said, we're looking forward to the season. Live streams of Colby Hornet football and other live streams are available at ZaleskiSportsShow.com, and we look forward to the season starting on August 17th. Before we talk about this year, Coach, we'll talk about 2017 just a little bit. I know we were talking before we went on 11 straight years in the playoffs. Is that right?
That is correct. 11 straight years we've made it to the playoffs.
That is outstanding. And in 2017, you were back in the playoffs again. Maybe a little bit lower seed than you would have liked, and how that ended up is you ended up playing number 2 seed Amherst, and the Amherst Falcons went on to win another state championship along the way, and you just happened to be that first team. So, you know, Amherst has been impressive for a long time. Or at least the last handful of years anyway. And, you know, like I said, they're just a juggernaut. They do things a little bit even unnatural sometimes as far as that's concerned. So it turned out it was a loss. Like I said, Amherst won the state championship, obviously. So what did you learn in that game going up against a team like Amherst?
Well, I think the things that you learn is, you know, number one, they're a very well coached football team, and you know, they got a lot of players out for football. And, you know, and I think what we learned, and not that we necessarily can control that, but, you know, you can tell that those guys from Amherst get in the weight room and they got some big kids and they're strong and they're fast. And, you know, that is something that we encourage our players to do, get in the weight room more. You know, some do, some don't. You know, that's just something that really I need to do a better job of as a head football coach in the off season, is making sure that our players are getting in the weight room, even if they are a basketball player or a wrestler, you know, or go out for track and field. You know, there's always time for those kids to get into the weight room, you know, early in the morning, after practice. So, you know, I think if anything, you know, if you want to compete with those teams like in Amherst, you know, your players just need to get bigger and stronger.
You talk about weightlifting. That reminds me of a very short story. Back in my high school football playing days, weightlifting wasn't something that excited me. And most of the guys always wanted to lift weights early in the morning. I am not an early riser. So I had a buddy of mine, Scott Wojcik. He would come and almost drag me out of bed at 5:30 in the morning. So guys, get yourself a workout buddy and let him drag you out of bed, get down in the weight room. That's what had to work for me.
Yeah, and that's how it is for me. You know, I personally work out, you know, and if I'm going to do it, it needs to be done about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning because of my busy schedule, you know, being a football coach and an AD and a principal. So, you know, and that's actually pretty refreshing to get up right away in the morning to do it. You know, you're kind of fresh and ready to go. And in a workout partner, I would agree. You know, I do have a partner that I work out with pretty consistently, and I think that definitely helps. So
yeah. So thinking back to last year, Coach, you won the first 4 games of the season, got off to a great start down the stretch. You were 2-3 coming down the stretch. Was that just a matter of competition that you were facing, or something else that happened towards the end of the season?
No, it was definitely a matter of competition. You know, like you said, we did start 4-0, and you know, in those first 4 games, we had 3 of them were shutouts. You know, and then we ran into the likes of, you know, a Spencer, who was a very good football team, and then, you know, then the following week we played Regis. You know, again, they made it to level 4 last year. You know, 1 game away from state. You know, we took them into overtime. You know, actually, if we were able to kick an extra point, you know, which we struggled with last season. You know, that game doesn't go into overtime and we win, you know, and then we ran into Stanley Boyd, you know, late in the year, and they had another very good football team. So yeah, it was a matter of the better teams that we played later part of the schedule.
All right. Again, you're watching Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski. We're here with Colby Hornet head coach Jim Hagan. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about 2018 and leading into 2018. What year number is this for you, and then how do you stay motivated as a coach?
Well, this is my 28th year overall of coaching. I started off in 1991 as a 7th grade football coach, and then I worked my way up to freshman coach for 3 years, and then became an assistant coach for Colby. And then in 1998, I took over as defensive coordinator. So again, you know, 28th year in coaching, 2nd year as a head coach, and what really got me into coaching, I don't know, I just always had a love for athletics ever since I was a little kid. You know, I think that started with my father, who loves athletics, and my brother, who's older than I, and it's just something that the Hagans always enjoyed, is athletics, and I loved school when I was a kid, and I love athletics, and it's just, I knew that I had to be in it some way, shape, or form, and you know, I've coached other sports like basketball and track, but football's always been my love, so.
And being in it that long, Coach, obviously you know that senior leadership, especially on a football team, is big. It's very important.
Yes.
Talk about some of the seniors on the team and what their senior leadership is going to bring to the 2018 Hornets.
Yeah, we only have 6 seniors this year, which is a very low number for us. And but so far, you know, those 6 seniors, you know, I'll probably forget somebody: Reese Kellenhofer and Jason Lee, and, you know, Matt Coonsey, Logan Hockey, Sawyer Smutchler, and I know I'm probably forgetting one other guy here, but you know, they're a quiet group of kids, you know, and that's kind of worrisome at times. You know, I did have a talk with them at the beginning of the season in the locker room when the other players were going out onto the field, you know, about you got to, you know, be senior leaders, you got to talk at practice, you got to push those younger kids. You know, at times they'll do it, but probably not enough. So that's just something that we got to keep encouraging them to do, is to take that senior leadership, you know, and keep working hard, because you know, if you're not going to work hard, those younger players aren't going to work hard. But so far, you know, we can't fault their effort at all, other than they're a little bit quieter than we want, but they are working very hard.
Yeah, and that's something that you'll work on during the season.
Yes.
Also, other things you'll work on during the season are some of the other kids, you know, juniors or what have you, that are playing with you, who maybe 1 or 2 kids that might start the season at this particular level but got a real chance to be big performers this year.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, when I look at our overall team, I think the player who has the potential to to be a really, really good football player is a junior by the name of Tyler Clemente. He's about a 6 foot, 190, 195 pound running back and linebacker, and he's the real deal. He's got strength and he's got speed and he just has great vision as far as running the football. So that's a name that probably people are going to want to keep an eye out for. And we're going to have an untested, unproven quarterback by the name of junior Roman Schmidt. He doesn't have a lot of varsity playing experience, but he has the potential to be a very good football player. He's a smart kid. He's in the weight room. He goes to speed training. He's in the gymnasium all the time playing basketball. He just loves sports. So I guess once he gets a little bit better feel for our offense and gets some confidence, he throws the ball really well. So we're looking for good things out of him. And there's another kid by the name of Harley Schmelzer who's a junior, and he's our wide receiver. Just a natural athlete. Doesn't spend a lot of time in the weight room, but he's always in the gym. If you walk by his house, he's always outside playing basketball. But he has great hands, and if you throw the ball anywhere near him, he's going to catch it. So looking for exciting things from those three players as far as, students who aren't seniors.
Yeah, okay. Well, good names to watch, and we're going to have, like I said, a few games this year to watch. In particular, Coach, as you start the year, as we look at the schedule, first 2 games are on the road, next 4 are at home. Any strategy there, any advantage with that type of schedule setup?
Oh, not necessarily. I had an interview last night, and they talked about is there any difference between having a non-conference game or a conference game to start the year? No, we'll prepare the same way. Osceola's a long drive for us, so we'll get that out of the way, and then we go to Neillsville. And then it will be nice to have 4 home games in a row, because last year we had 4 away games in a row, and boy, that just seems like forever getting on a bus. So, looking forward to that 4-game home stretch, no doubt about it.
Coach, you mentioned Neillsville week 2 last year. You beat Neillsville 40-0. That'll be our first Colby game that we will stream live. Again, you can find those games at ZaleskiSportsShow.com. So you play them in week 2, and so we'll be there at the game. Okay. What are the chances of 40-0 again this year?
I'm not really sure about that. Some of it depends on injuries, how the first game goes. And I really don't know much about Neillsville yet. I know they have been down the past few years, but I would like to think that if we play well, that we can beat them. But we certainly don't take anything for granted. That's we tell our players every day at practice we don't take anybody lightly. We'll practice against Neillsville just like we would practice as we prepare for a Spencer. Just again looking forward to this first game against Osseo, and that's going to be really a big game for us. Not only as far as trying to make it to the playoffs, because you got to win 4 games in our conference to make it to the playoffs, but if nothing else, it's just a good morale booster going into the rest of the season. Yeah,
good. Well, Coach, best of luck in 2018. I know we're going to have a lot of fun watching you. Talked about a couple of those games. We'll also see you at home on September 21st, so we look forward to that. And then we'll have highlights intermittently all year long. So, Coach, again, thanks for stopping by, and good luck this year.
All right, thank you, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, guys, this has been Coach on the Couch, and live streams, as I mentioned before, available at ZaleskiSportsShow.com and ZaleskiSports.com. Highlights all year long, fall sports, volleyball, football, what have you, all available at Zaleski Sports Show on Facebook. We'll see you next time.
Go to Zaleski Sports
and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier, treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
V&H Automotive serves Marshfield and Central Wisconsin with new Ford, Lincoln, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram trucks. Our professional staff of factory-trained sales associates and parts and service personnel are here to serve you. Our business managers use more than a dozen lenders to ensure you the lowest rates anywhere. From Marshfield to Wausau, Wisconsin Rapids to Stevens Point, or Colby to Medford, we are a short drive from anywhere for friendly service and very competitive pricing. Come see V&H Automotive today. V&H Automotive serves Marshfield. The Implement, located just north of Highway 10 in Chile, is your place for Kubota zero-turn mowers. If your lawn is big or small, we have all the lawn care solutions for you. Check out our 60-inch deck. Kubota, powerful, precise, proven. Chili Implement is your choice for Kubota, Case IH, and Gale. Chili Implement, open 6 days a week to serve you. Chili Implement. Wondering what to feed your team after work, the game, or this weekend? Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids has tasty, char-broiled burgers for any hungry appetite. From the classic hamburger to the famous Chips Champ and everything in between, check out our daily specials. Stop inside to enjoy your meal with comfortable seating. See our complete menu of burgers, hot ham and cheese, hot beef, chicken and fish, fries, rings, curds, and ice cream served year-round. In a hurry? Same great menu in the drive-thru. Chips Hamburgers in Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids. Wondering what
property damage or loss is what Marshfield Insurance Agency is all about. We are the area's largest insurance agency, family owned for more than 30 years. An independent agency, we represent more than 40 A-rated insurance providers for home, auto, business, health, life, and more. Contact Marshfield Insurance Agency for a free quote today. Did property
now to see our other games, Anago at Stratford and Marshfield at Appleton West. Thank you for watching the Zaleski Sports Show.
My name is Marissa, and I just finished my junior year in college. It's time for me to buy my first car before I start my senior year and before I start my career search. I clicked on an ad for Wheelers and found a car that was in my budget. I contacted the dealership and they emailed me an appointment for test drive. Test drive day is here. The sales staff was helpful and made sure I was comfortable learning about the car. It only took a few minutes and my credit application was approved. Just a couple of quick signatures and a payment I can afford. My first time buying a car and it was so simple. Thank you, Wheelers. My name is Marissa.
All right, guys, Jason here with the Zaleski Sports Show, and we are at our Zaleski Sports Game of the Week, Neillsville, Colby, and we're visiting with Neillsville Warrior head coach Scott Bryant. Scott, let's just talk a little bit about the weather here, how that might impact anything. It looks like any heavy rain is going to miss us. Light rain, how does that do anything for your team?
It looks like it's going to miss us for a while anyway, probably into somewhere in the second half. So hopefully we'll be able to get the game in with no delays. We'll probably adjust at halftime if we have to with the time and things like that. But, you know, just like any other time, it comes to ball control and trying to cut down on mistakes, and who plays mistake-free football will come out ahead.
Yeah, and Coach, we talked about that in the pregame show. Actually, that was rolling before we came on live here, so everybody in the audience got to hear everything you had to say. Any other adjustments that you've made since practice last night, or anything else we should look for today in the game?
No, we're not going to do anything special. We're just going to try to control the ball. Again, play mistake-free football and work our way down the field and hopefully score.
All right, Coach, good luck. Thanks for stopping by. All right, guys, there he was, Neillsville Warrior head coach Scott Bryant, joining us here pregame as we are just about set to go underway. As I take a look, we're 2:45 from game time, and what that means for us is we're going to take a small technical break. We've got our second camera off in the end zone. We've got a part that's on the way. We're having a part delivered here. Are you kidding me? 7 o'clock on a Friday night, and we got a delivery coming out. So we're going to shut the stream down just for a few minutes. You can do one of two things. You can hit refresh and give us about 5 minutes. Hit refresh on your screen and wait for that live stream to come back up. Or take a look at Zaleski Sports Neillsville, and we'll put a note up there when the stream's ready to go. We hope to be ready by the time that kickoff is set here. They're giving some kind of notice right now in the stadium about lightning and that such. We think that type of storm is going around us, so we think we're going to be good for football. But we've got a delivery coming up here in just a couple minutes. We're going to get our second camera ready, and we'll be back by kickoff. So again, you can hit refresh on your screen, give us about 5 minutes, or check Zaleski Sports Neillsville. We'll see you in just a bit.